条件に逆らわない。分かったわよ。分かった。
だがとも視線を外さない。そういう才能なのか、それとも。
Last time on Peach Boy Riverside, we ended with a flashback about how Mikoto became the Peach Boy. At the start of episode 10, as the lightning-wielding ogre Todoroki prepares to strike with his lightning blade, he demands to know who the stranger is that dared to stand in his way. With a confident smirk, the lady introduces herself as Winnie, the Witch of the Western Forest. Not wasting any time, Winnie reveals that she has come to aid Hawthorne in his battle against Todoroki by presenting him with a powerful sword once wielded by Frau. As Hawthorne hesitates, unsure of how to use the weapon, Winnie encourages him to find a way, assuring him that she'll be watching. Amidst the tension and anticipation, Hawthorne makes a bold declaration, telling Todoroki that he won't be defeated. With the powerful weapon in hand and Winnie's support behind him, Hawthorne prepares for the fight of his life. As Todoroki unleashes his lightning blade, he exudes confidence in its ability to shatter Hawthorne's sword. When he reveals the sword's name, Air, the treasure of heaven. Its reputation precedes it, even an ogre's flesh cannot withstand its cutting power. Todoroki acknowledges the sword's reputation, but asserts that merely wielding it does not automatically elevate him to Hawthorne's level. He emphasizes the superiority of his lightning sword over a metal one. Hawthorne, however, remains unconvinced until the Witch of the Western Forest confirms the sword's prowess. We then cut to the giant eagle. The latter thinks he has successfully smashed Frau and decides it's time to head to Todoroki's location. Just as he's about to make his escape, Frau miraculously wakes up, much to the eagle's surprise. Despite being hit by a cannon at close range, she's still breathing. Frau reveals that Alta had granted her new powers, and she jumps up to cut the eagle's wing. The vicious attack leaves the ogre stunned, and he can't help but acknowledge that Frau is no mere hairfolk. In fact, it's a disgrace that he's of no use against her. Frau, fueled by her newfound strength, proceeds to cut off the eagle's head, but his body remains standing. After defeating her enemy, Frau falls unconscious. In the meantime, a heated battle between Carrot and Shinki erupts, with the latter reminding Carrot of the significance of a high ogre's horn. However, Shinki is relentless and bombards Carrot with slap attacks, even taunting her with her past name, Meki, and urging her to die. Carrot feels at a loss and ponders her next move, but she knows that the only way to defeat Shinki is to get closer and pierce his body. Despite Shinki's pursuit, Carrot manages to find herself at a dead end and comes to a stop. Shinki approaches her, questioning why she's attempting to flee. As Shinki remarks on Carrot's ill-fated encounter with the dead end, Carrot finds herself at a loss and knows that she must make her final move to knock out Shinki. Without hesitation, she employs Zhao Dao to blast him. Meanwhile, Sumeragi spares Sally, realizing he has a soft spot for her. On another front, Hawthorne and Todoroki relentlessly exchange powerful blows. However, their confrontation takes an unexpected turn when Sally appears and convinces Todoroki to join forces with her. Despite the temporary peace, Sumeragi ultimately betrays Todoroki and stabs him in the back, leaving him to rot outside the castle walls. In the 11th episode, our beloved characters Hawthorne, Sally, Carrot, and Frau continue their journey and arrive at a new city after settling their scores with the High Ogre. As they approach a treehouse, Sally can't help but comment on how it resembles a witch's house, but Hawthorne assures them that they are heading in the right direction, and Sally is taken aback by the door's inscription of Bar. Despite their initial hesitation, the group steps inside. As they step inside, Sally's eyes widen in amazement. This bar is even more fantastic than she had imagined. Suddenly, a figure emerges from the shadows. It's none other than the witch from the western forest, Winnie, who greets them warmly. Sally can't believe her luck to be welcomed by such a renowned witch. Winnie remarks that it's been a while since she's had guests, and she's curious about the diverse group before her. There's a human, an ogre, and a harefolk. Sally can't help but wonder how Winnie knew about them, but the witch reveals that she's been observing them on her magical globe for quite some time. Feeling emboldened, Sally makes a bold request. She asks Winnie to teach her magic. To her delight, Winnie agrees. But before diving into the magical arts, Winnie decides to share the story of how they all came to be in this place. As Winnie sat in the library engrossed in her reading, she suddenly felt a surge of power wash over her, transporting her back in time. Upon arrival, she noticed a young boy in dire need of assistance, and with her magical abilities, she was able to save him. However, as she looked around, Winnie couldn't help but feel regret that she couldn't save more people. Just then, Hawthorne approached her, expressing his gratitude for her magical intervention that saved his soldier's life. Sally, curious about Winnie's powers, asked about the various types of magic she could perform. Winnie explained that there were many different spells at her disposal, including attack spells, transportation spells, and much more. To demonstrate, Winnie conjured a small flame in the palm of her hand, leaving Sally wide-eyed with excitement. Before we continue, take a moment to answer the question of the day. What anime has the best power system? Comment down below for a chance to be shouted out. Sally persists in asking Hawthorne to teach her magic, and Hawthorne can't help but wonder why Sally is so insistent. Sally explains that ever since she heard about witches, she's been intrigued. She confesses that she's not skilled with a sword like Frau, nor does she possess Frau's strength. Frau reminds Sally that she defeated the ogre, Set, but Sally can't seem to recall the victory. Meanwhile, Carrot is still struggling to come to terms with Sally's killing of her best friend and fellow walrus. Despite Carrot's reservations, they had no choice but to act in self-defense and leave the situation behind. During the clash, Sally must avoid death, and fortunately, she manages to protect herself. After the altercation, Sally expresses her desire to learn magic so that she can continue her journey. Winnie, having witnessed Sally's humanity in her crystal ball, offers to teach her, but there are 3 conditions that Sally must meet. First, she must keep this a secret. Second, she must follow the rules. And third, she must pay 3 million. Sally is curious about the purpose of the 3 million, and Winnie clarifies that it is for payment. Winnie emphasizes that with the right mentor, anyone can learn magic. As Hawthorne interrupts, Winnie assures him that she will take any money he's offering. Sally, on the other hand, reminds Hawthorne that her worth is more than just currency. Nonetheless, Hawthorne reveals a stack of bills and reminds them that they need it for their travels. Sally then cleverly proposes that Hawthorne teaches her swordmanship in exchange for the cash. In no time, they make their way to the training grounds, and Sally begins honing her skills. Suddenly, they run into Milia, an ogre who wields her hair as a weapon. Meanwhile, Sumenki and Sumeragi meet up with the seasoned monster hunter, Mikoto. As all of our heroes gather for the final battle, things begin to get heated. Suddenly, the evil tree seizes Sally and tells her that ogres are actually created from human hatred. As the tree continues to talk about how peace can never be achieved, our heroes are engaged in a standoff with various ogres. Frau faces off with the hair ogre Milia as the peach boy Mikoto speaks with the ogre leader Sumeragi. Suddenly, Sally is overcome with rage and her right eye becomes the shape of a peach. She manages to blow apart the tree's grip on her as everyone stares in shock. As it turns out, Sally's power is a direct counter to the ogre's, and the tree tells her that as long as she is alive, there will be no peace. Suddenly, Milia attacks Sally, but she easily breaks free and gut punches the ogre. She then turns her attention to the evil tree. Sally charges and manages to destroy the tree in one strike, ending the conflict. Later, we cut to our gang celebrating their victory. Meanwhile, however, Carrot's eye minion is conversing with Sumeragi, who has managed to survive the peach boy Mikoto. Once Sally wakes up, she enters the bar and her friends warmly greet her. Winnie offers to teach Sally magic, but Sally states that she has a new mission. discover the true root of her power. With Peach Boy Riverside coming to an end, the last episode ends with Sally, Frau, and Hawthorne leaving to pursue their new quest. What a heartwarming way to end the series. Go check out more of our recaps and look forward to the next series coming soon.